So you're already making sales, but you know that your email list should be making you more sales than it already is. And it's really easy to think that my list is full of tire kickers, it's full of duds, they're ghosting me, they're disengaged, or whatever. The good news is, in helping more than 9,000 paying clients so far, it's almost never the list, which means you can still make sales from the list that you've already got. All you need is at least 3,000 people on your email list. As long as you've got that and these strategies that I'm about to share with you, you are going to be making bank.
The Email Marketing Show.
Okay, so I'm going to share with you the problems that are absolutely killing your sales with your email marketing. Definitely going to do that. But because I'm an entrepreneur just like you, I'm also going to give you the one key, the one like golden skeleton key that you can do, the thing you can implement that fixes all of these issues as well. So make sure that you stay tuned right to the very end for that. It is so simple. I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'll tell you now, it is simple, but almost no one is going to do it. Almost no one's actually going to do this. I can tell you that for now. Anyway, we'll get into that in a bit, so stay tuned. So what are the reasons that you are really not getting the sales from your email list? Well, I've got 5 different reasons, right? 5 different things that we're going to need to fix. So let's sit up straight and get into them. The first one is that your email list specifically has not understood your offer enough, right? They need to know 3 things before they'll buy anything. And you're doing this in your other marketing. Undoubtedly, otherwise you wouldn't be making sales. But we humans naturally silo information, and you're just not doing this in your emails. And I'll see this all the time with people who've got great offers, converting other places, but just in this position, this particular sort of case with email, they're not doing it. So they need to understand 3 things before they buy anything. They need to understand what I call the who, why, what of you and your offer. The first one is they need to know who you are. They need to understand that you're the expert that is going to help them. The second thing they need to know is why they should listen to you in particular. What I mean by that is, what are the specific results you've gotten for people in the past? What is your particular background that you've got that makes them want to listen to you? For example, my background, the reason that I know people listen to me about email marketing is not just the amazing results and how many clients I've helped get great results, not just the fact that I help all these really big name people you've definitely heard of, all these gurus with their email marketing, but actually the reason they listen to me is because my background of 17 years using psychology, body language, and influence skills on stage to make it look like I could read people's minds as a mind reader in a comedy show that I performed for companies around the world, and then I apply that to email marketing. That gives me a very special set of skills that nobody else has. That's why people should listen to me. What is your version of that? What is your unique background? What are your unique results you've had for people? That's the who and the why. And finally, they need to know the what. What is different about your solution? Because by the time someone comes to you, they've definitely asked ChatGPT. They've probably asked Gemini and Claude as well for some help. They've probably watched a bunch of YouTube videos. They've probably asked some friends. And it's more than likely they've been on another program, or they've at least bought another low-ticket offer before they come to you. And they still haven't got the result they were hoping for. So now we need to answer, what is different about your solution compared to everything else they've been looking at? Everything else they've tried. Why is your solution different so it's actually going to get them different results? That's when people come to me. They've tried email marketing before. They've had crappy results, and they're like, Kennedy, I need someone who's got a different perspective. Well, my perspective doesn't get much more different. Most of what I've seen and tried in email marketing before this point has sucked and not worked for me. I had to reinvent the whole thing myself, right? So they have to really understand that. That's the first thing. The second reason that you're not getting the results from your email marketing is that not a high enough percentage of your email list are even opening your emails at all. You're probably seeing this, right? Look, if you're getting a 30% open rate on your weekly email, that sounds really good. Like most people, like most industries, 30% is a fantastic email open rate. But 30%? 30% of your weekly email means 70% of people who you've paid to get on your email list don't see anything from you for a whole week. 70% of people hear nothing from you, see nothing from you for a whole week. So not enough people are actually saying your emails. You put this love or this attention into your emails, and most of them don't even see it. Right? That's like having a gift and not opening the gift. You don't know if it was a good thing, if it's something you really needed, something that's going to really solve the problem for you, something you're going to really enjoy. They don't know. They're not even opening your emails. The third thing is, well, look, the number one reason people ignore your emails or they unsubscribe or worse, they report you as spam is they've literally forgotten who you are. It needs to be very clear from how they sign up to what you say in your emails to how you talk about yourself to your landing pages. They need to know who the hell you are. Like, I'm the email marketing guy. My name's Kennedy, right? You know that I'm this guy who has this unusual combination of psychology and technology that makes us get the best results in email marketing in the world. You know that. Why? Because I tell you that everywhere. They need to understand very clear in your emails that you are the person who solves the problem you solve. A lot of people hide this in their emails by trying to be subtle, or they actually just forget to remind their audience exactly who they are. Number 4, remember we've got 5 of these, then I'm going to give you this golden skeleton key that actually solves all these things. Number 4 is when you email, this is only human nature from you, and I would do the same, in fact I do the same if I don't use my systems, is when you email, you will default to your 1 to 2 biases of things about your products and services that you think are important. The things that you get most excited about, that you put the most work into. The big things that you go, I'm a bloody genius. This is the best thing ever. And this is the outcome everybody wants. Well, the truth is, different people in your list are different to you and they want to hear different things. Give you a case in point. I was very lucky. I was in a mastermind where I got to meet the fantastic marketer John Benson. If you don't know John, John's the guy who literally invented the sales video, the VSL, the video sales letter as we know it today, with the words coming up on the screen and you're talking behind it and some B-roll comes over these days. John invented that. Right? Absolutely awesome guy. And I met him in Florida a few times, in Puerto Rico. Like, we hang out a lot. And if I said to John, hey, do you want to go for dinner? He might go, yeah, maybe. I say, hey, but it's a really fancy place. And I'm thinking, this is going to really get him. He might go, yeah, okay. And I say, and good news is, it's really close to your house in Florida. He'd be like, yeah, maybe. And also, you can bring your lovely wife. And he'd be like, yeah, maybe. Oh, John, they serve steak now. I say steak. John's eyes open wide, his ears prick up, and he turns his head. And now he wants to go for dinner. Why? Because at that time when we were hanging out a lot, John was on a very strict carnivore diet, and pretty much all John was eating was steak. But I would have thought, hey, it's fancy. That might have appealed to him. You can bring your wife. It's really close. It's convenient for you to get there. Those would be my biases. But I had to say steak. I had to go out of what my preference would be and start talking about his preferences. So you will naturally be defaulting to 1 or 2, maybe 3 of your things that you think are important about your product or service and the solution that you get for people, the outcome you get for people. But the truth is, you need to talk about more of them to appeal to more people who have more desires, who have more complex outcomes that they're looking for. And they're just waiting for you to say the exact right, perfect thing. The final bit, the 5th one, before we got into the solution, the 5th reason you're not getting the results that you want from your emails is that your email deliverability is struggling. Your emails are ending up in spam or a promotions folder, which means you're not getting in front of people. They are forgetting who you are, and also all those sorts of horrible things. The good news is, to solve all of these things, it's like some kind of magic trick. We can do one thing. Like I said, most people are just not going to do it. It's really simple. I've been doing it personally for more than a decade, but when I tell you it, you're probably not going to do it. And that's just the truth. Before I get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button right here on this channel, because I'm amazed that less than 25% of the people who tune in to these episodes are actually subscribed to the channel. And if you subscribe to the channel and you hit like and you hit the little bell, you'll get a notification. You'll actually see more of this content that will help you to make more sales from your email marketing. More sales of stuff you're already doing from the emails that you're already sending. And if you really want to fast forward this and you want to get my daily email tips to your inbox, will help you make more sales, then literally go to dailyemailtips.com. That's dailyemailtips.com. Sign up for free and I'll send you my daily email tips, tricks, insights and recommendations to make more sales from your email marketing of the programs that you're already selling. That's over at dailyemailtips.com. So, because you're a busy entrepreneur and you're busy running your business, most people at our stage feel like they don't have time to send emails as often as they should. The golden skeleton key to solving all of these problems and realizing it is not the people on your list is to increase how often you email your list. Let me explain, because your brain's going, that sounds too simple. Let me explain. Because when I have my clients increase how often they email their list, they make more sales every time. Literally just by increasing the frequency. Because increasing the frequency, let's get in the detail here, and I'm going to show you how to increase the frequency, right? Really important. Don't just be like, now I'm going to increase frequency because Kennedy said so. Don't just do that. I'll show you what actually to do as well. I'm going to show you an example email too. So the first thing is, when you email more often, people are going to get familiar with you much, much quicker. They're going to get familiar with you. They're going to get familiar with your offer, your product, and how your method works. We build trust over time. There's only like a small percentage of people who are actually looking for a one-night stand at any one time, right? But we want to build a relationship. That's the most majority of people, right? And they want to know how your specific method works. If you email more often, you get to do that. You get to show up more often. You get to be more familiar. You get to build the story, the picture of what your offers do and the outcomes they get. Secondly, you can't be forgotten. Look, people unsubscribe because when they get an email from you, they don't recognize your name. So they go, oh, that must be a spammer. If you're in their inbox a few times a week, they don't have enough time, even in their busy, content-filled lives, to forget who you are. They're going to remember who you are because you show up more often. Thirdly, a higher percentage of your list will see an email from you every single week. If you email once a week, you got a 30% open rate, which is considered a really good open rate. That's really good. But we email between 5 and 7 times a week, and 85% of my list see an email from me every single week. That's like an 85% open rate every single week. That means 85% of all the people who I paid to get on my email list are actually seeing my messages. They're actually opening an email and seeing stuff inside the package that I can actually offer them and help them with. Right? Really important. And of course, every time you send an email, this is number 4, every time you email, you can come at it from a different angle. You can talk about a different feature, different benefit, different outcome, a different person who had great success. Because you email more often, that's more bandwidth, that's more inventory of space of emails you've got to fill, and you will naturally talk about different angles if you force yourself to do it. And deliverability, here's the cool thing. When you email more often, that is giving Gmail more data. Gmail and its band of merry men, obviously, I mean the others as well, but Gmail controls most of the email inboxes these days. So it gives them more data. So if more people are opening your emails and you're sending more emails, so that's lots more data for Gmail, you're doing it more often, Gmail's like, it trusts you more because it knows what to do. If you're not sending very many emails, every time you send an email, it's going to be like, I don't know whether I trust this person or not. We have to be a bit cautious with where we put their emails. So you get better inbox placement when you email more often. So people recognize you when you email more often. They get to know you when you email more often. They get to know your products. They know how and they know where to buy from. They've got the link handy at the top of their inbox when they need it. They open more of your emails. Your email deliverability and placement goes up. It's amazing. That's why every course, every coaching, every service business needs to be emailing, and here's the bit, a minimum of 3 times a week. Ideally, take a deep breath, 3 times a week, but actually, ideally, 5 to 7 times a week. I mean it. That's what we should be doing, right? Every single week. So how do you increase your email frequency when you are busy? Well, like I said before, you shouldn't go from emailing once a week or once every so often, or people even not hearing from you, just quickly going, bang, I'm going to go start emailing 5 to 7 times a week. That's not practical. We've got to get really practical. It's not realistic because people will just report you spam. Oh my God, suddenly I've gone from never hearing from you to hearing from you every single day. That's awful. You're going to go from like drought to flood, and nobody wants that. So what we're going to do, we're going to send an email. In fact, I'm going to just bang this email up on the screen for you if you're watching. And here's the email. It just says something like this. Just model this. Good news. I want to help you stay more consistent on your weight loss journey. If you're in the weight loss niche, obviously use that, right? The best way I can do that is to be there for you every day. Notice I'm coming from a place of, this is coming from a place of service. I'm not apologizing, right? That's why from Monday, so we're telling them exactly when, you think about all the psychology going on here, I am going to be popping into your email inbox with a new tip, idea, piece of inspiration, or recommendation every single day, and there's no cost. For a personal training I charge $70 an hour. That's a sort of standard rate in around the California area, right? But all you have to do is open and engage, and we'll get you to those fitness goals you've been pining for. Look out for my first email on Monday. And then I say, if you've changed your mind about pursuing weight loss for now, that's cool. Just click unsubscribe. Notice what I'm not doing, which is what most people want to do naturally, is that people think they have to apologize. Hey, by the way, watch out. I'm going to start emailing you a bit more often. I'm really sorry if it gets too much. Unsubscribe. That sounds like an apology. What I'm doing in this email is I'm selling them on the benefit of this. You're going to put the effort into emailing every single day. It's going to take you maybe 20 minutes a day. That's something people could pay for, right? That 20 minutes of inspiration. And so we're telling people, hey, you don't even have to pay for this. This is an awesome thing. I'm going to help you get closer to your goals. And of course, we're giving ourselves the leeway, the freedom to sell in those emails by saying, I'm going to give you an idea, a piece of inspiration, or recommendation. That might be a recommendation of something to buy from you, or an affiliate offer, or something like that. Okay? And then we're positioning it as valuable by saying, I charge $70 an hour for personal training, whatever your price might be, $850 an hour for consulting, whatever your whole thing is. And then you tell them exactly when it's going to start. Starts on Monday. That's cool. Look out for it. I'm giving you forewarning. And then we do something that allows people to feel like they've got choice. And that is that last line. If you've changed your mind about pursuing weight loss, that's cool. Unsubscribe. Two things going on there. Two psychological, really important things I want to point out. One is we're showing them the door that they can leave through. We're saying you have a choice. And by doing that, people don't leave. But by the fact they feel like they can leave, and you're saying you can leave, they feel much more at ease. And of course, there's an unsubscribe link at the bottom of all your emails anyway, standard stuff, right? They can do that anytime going forward. But the second bit, which might not be quite as obvious, is we don't say, if you'd rather not get my daily emails, you can unsubscribe. No. We frame it as, if you've changed your mind about pursuing the outcome they're looking for, then you can unsubscribe. Very subtle, but very big difference in terms of the outcome that's going to have. So make sure that you use that sample, that model, that use it pretty much as is, all right? Now, how do you actually do these emails every single day without running out of ideas, without taking you hours and actually crippling your day because you're a busy entrepreneur, you're busy doing stuff? Well, I break down the whole system that I actually use to send an email every single day, how I've done it for over a decade now while running a multi-seven-figure business and traveling the world, and how I never start an email from scratch. And I do that in this next video here that you should definitely check out next, so you can put this in place. Go check that one out, and I'll see you there.